Whitewater's got it. From the campus of Whitewater High School in Fayetteville, Georgia, it's the state semifinals inside the 5A classification here on the Play On High School Sports Network, where tonight two teams are just one win away from the Big Dome in Atlanta and a shot at the state championship as the Whitewater Wildcats host the Gainesville Red Elephants. And hello again, everybody. Thanks for joining us for our season finale here for high school football on the Play On High School Sports Network. And as always, with the play-by-play story, I'm Chris Mooningham. What a matchup tonight inside the 5A classification. As we mentioned, someone's going to the state championship game at the end of play tonight. 14 teams will punch their ticket inside the state to the Big Dome in Atlanta and play for the respective 7 championships. For Whitewater, the homestanding Whitewater Wildcats, they come into this ball game at 12-1 overall. They have won 12 consecutive ball games. They were champions of their region. They're also scoring 35 points per ball game. They're winning per game average 35-14 over their opponents. They've scored 450 points this year. Their head coach is Amos McCrary. He's the only head coach this school's known. He has a 62-23 record in 8 seasons here at Whitewater, and he's taken them to 5 playoff appearances. On the other side, for the Red Elephants of Gainesville, they come in at 10-3. They're led by head coach Bruce Miller. He's now in his 11th season at the helm of the Red Elephants, where he's compiled a 116-24 record. But the big story in this ball game is Gainesville's offense and Whitewater's offense. Now, why do I say that? Because Gainesville has the most up-tempo, high-octane, explosive offense in the state. It'll be Whitewater's responsibility tonight to, 1, protect the football, and 2, keep it away from Deshaun Watson and the Red Elephant offense. They'll get their shot first. Gainesville's offense averaging 46 points per ball game. They've scored 603 points so far this year, and 4 times they've gone over 60. So we'll see if Whitewater can keep their ball control offense in line tonight and keep the ball away from Deshaun Watson. We'll have plenty of opportunity to take a look at Whitewater's stud running back, Kendall Conley, as well tonight. Conley, a 2,000-yard rusher in 2012. Gainesville and Whitewater. The winner plays either Northside, Warner Robins, or Ware County Friday night under the Big Top in Atlanta. And the 5A semifinal from Fayetteville is underway. A high end-over-end kick, taken just inside the 10-yard line. Receiving man going to push to the 20, the 25, and the 30, breaks a couple of tackles, and finally wrestled down. Ball comes loose just around the 35-yard line. Gainesville very excited over there on the visitor's side. We wait for the official call from the men in stripes. Of course, you'll have to bear with me because I'm a mile and a half away, so it may take me quite a second to. Yes, Gainesville has the football. Well, write that one down in your score sheet, ladies and gentlemen. Gainesville draws first blood, first advantage in this ball game. A costly turnover. We'll see just how costly it becomes for Whitewater as we make our way through the ball game, and it will immediately give us a shot at Deshaun Watson. Quite simply, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never had the opportunity to see Deshaun Watson, number 4, standing near the center of your screen, now you're in for a treat tonight. He is absolutely electrifying. Watson stands at the 40 in the shotgun. Get used to that. Takes a snap. He's got 4 receivers streaking out. Fire across the middle where he's got a man off the hands of his intended receiver. That's Rodney Lackey, the sophomore. Lackey, the sophomore, one of 7 players for Gainesville who have double-digit receptions so far this year. 7 guys with 10-plus receptions for Gainesville. 3 receivers this time, 1 down here to the near side, and Watson going to keep up the middle. Avoids first contact, and the second guy will bring him down after what looks like about a 3-yard gain. Offensive line for Gainesville, it's Ibarra, Arroyo, England, Flores, and Dabney from left to right. The wide receiver core, Caleb Heyman. He's a big guy, 6'2", 210. You'll know him when you see him. Trey Harrison and Rodney Lackey, the other wide receivers. And Jay Godlock we'll see a lot of tonight with Michael Bird. A catch, instant contact, and close to the first down mark. Looks like they're going to be about a yard shy, maybe a half yard, and we'll wait and see what Coach Miller and his offensive staff calls on this 4th down play. 1 minute into the state semifinal matchup, and they are in fact going for it. Expect a keeper by Watson. He's throwing, and he slips and comes down to the turf. Boy, listen to the electricity in this place. So if you're just tuning in, Whitewater fumbles the opening kickoff of the ball game, but they hold Gainesville's offense in check and do not give up points on the first possession of the ball game. And that'll give us a chance to see Jay Ashley, the sophomore at quarterback, and Kendall Conley, the senior running back, who has eclipsed that mythical, magical 2,000-yard rushing mark so far this year. In the I formation, Ashley fakes, right-hander, fires deep, where he's got a man beyond the two secondary men. Who makes it over the shoulder? Tremendous grab. Oh, what a catch by Trevor Morgan, the senior. Morgan, who had a touchdown pass last week, in the opening round victory versus Lee County, he threw a touchdown pass to his sophomore quarterback. What a beautiful throw by Ashley. A lot of people will tell you that Jay Ashley, the sophomore quarterback, number one, has been the key to this offense this year and his emergence. He's been sharp. He's been fairly accurate. He's tremendously athletic. But most importantly, he's been composed in 2012. Handoff to Conley. Kendall left side, breaks a couple of tackles, keeps his feet moving, and he's within a yard of the first down mark. Back to Ashley for just a moment to touch on his composure here in 2012 last week in their quarterfinal matchup win over Allatoona. Late in that ball game, they were trying to put the game on ice or at least get a little more comfortable. Well, the snap back to him as he was standing in the shotgun was fumbled. It was a bad snap, and he did not grab it. But ball touched the turf. He kept his composure, picked it up, went 18 yards for the touchdown. They won that ball game pretty comfortably. Offset I. Hand off to Conley again. And Kendall met at the line of scrimmage. Kendall Conley, who at times has done a little bit of everything for Whitewater. Missed much of the 2011 season with a shoulder injury. So far this year, he's over 2,050 yards, and he has 36 touchdown runs. Offensive starters for Whitewater on the line. Patrick Dillon. His coach says he's one of the most dominant linemen I've seen all season. Then Gates, Sullenberger, Curlin, and Crozier on the line. Talked about Conley and Ashley. He'll have Welsh in the backfield to block, this fullback, which he does on this play. Can't clear out the second linebacker through, but Whitewater looks to have the first down. And then also Trevor Morgan and Jake Carlson, the skill players at wide receiver. Phil Salters, the man in the white hat tonight, calls for the first down for Whitewater. Starting defensively for Gainesville, it's Calvert, Grayson, and Quinones on the line of scrimmage, with Dukes, Soseby, Stringer, and Pittman in the linebacking core. In the secondary, Peoples, Hernandez, Cousins, and Payne. And T.K. Mize, by the way, also in the secondary. T.K. Mize, who had perhaps the biggest play in their second-round win over Kell. His interception really swung the momentum of that ball game back the other way. Incomplete on a 1st and 10 deep ball. Gainesville will run out of the 3-4, allowing 22 points per ball game. Whitewater going to see them most of the time in the pro set I. As I mentioned, they're outscoring their opponents 450 to 177 here in 2012. That's a 35 to 14 per game average. Expect to see Conley coming to the right side here pretty soon. He'll run behind number 74, Patrick Dalton. Dalton, a senior at 6'9", 368. Man in motion. Ashley gives to Conley. Conley goes in the two-gap and finds some room. Cutting back to the left side. He's near the 10-yard line, also near the first down mark. We'll wait for the official spot.
6'9".
My cameraman, Todd Edwards, turns to me and asks me for verification. He says 6'9", 368. Is that right? I have been known to misspeak from time to time. I get wrapped up in the ball game, and yes, Todd, 6'9", 368. His coach, Amos McCrary, who's been coaching in this state for 10 years, says that he's one of the most dominating linemen he's ever seen and probably the most dominant lineman he's seen in 2012. Number 74, near portion of your screen, the end lineman. Conley runs right behind him and has the first down. This is what they want to do, Whitewater. Control the tempo, control the line of scrimmage, and most importantly, control possession. Ashley under center. Now somebody moved on the defensive line, and they will, in fact, blow the play dead. Were they drawn off, Mr. Salters? No. Yes, they were. Offsides. Phil Salters controlling things tonight for us. Want to remind you, folks, for live scores and highlights, you can go to playonsports.com/Georgia Football Playoffs. If you want to join in the conversation, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at PlayOnSports, #GHSA Football. And another flag. First penalty on Whitewater tonight. So nullify the last penalty, move it back 5 more yards, and that'll put us back to square. 7-minute mark, first quarter here in Fayetteville. High formation again, man goes in motion. Tight end on top side. Conley left side. Back into the middle. Another flag comes down. This in the area of holding. For now, Whitewater down to the 3. But let's see. Back them up 5 more. Or 10 more. Well, now first and goal from the 21. Or actually, check that, it's a 22-yard line. That's what I get for reading the scoreboard. First and goal from the 22. Isolation coverage down here on near side. The receiver you see at the bottom of your screen. Let's watch that. Again, a man in motion with the I formation. Well, they decide to hand it off. They'll go Conley off right side, and he's got about, we'll call it a 4-yard gain, maybe 5. Six-minute mark coming up in Fayetteville. Be interesting to see how the storyline plays out as far as the linebacking core from Gainesville. They got 4 or 5 really good linebackers. When will they decide to blitz? They show topside linebacker blitzing here. Let's watch. And he does. He runs past Conley, and that's trouble. Conley trying to get to the edge, and finally, the pursuing cornerback and outside linebacker able to get to him. Very good job by Fred Payne to stay home, the free safety who will be a catamount next year at Western Carolina. Third and goal now. Scoreboard operator struggling tonight. There they go. They fixed it finally. 16-yard line. Boy, a lot of energy in this place. Semi-final Friday, the kind of game that'll bring out the casual fan in your community, and a timeout called by Whitewater. That's why you've That's why you got so much energy in this old place. I say old place, 2004. Well, if you're just tuning in, perhaps you've been out Christmas shopping. Man, I got to go Christmas shop. But if you are just getting home from the mall or, well, wherever you've been, Whitewater received the opening kickoff, and on said kickoff, fumbled. Gainesville came up with the recovery, was unable to score. They went 4 downs and out on the ensuing possession, and Whitewater took over. They're still working on that ensuing drive, so one solid possession for each team, and Whitewater has drained off more than 9 minutes, or more than 5 minutes, pardon me, on this first quarter clock. Again, thanks for joining us from Fayetteville on the campus of Whitewater High School. Ashley standing in the shotgun, 3rd and goal. And they decide for a little trickery to hand to Conley. That's an interesting call, especially after a timeout. Well, that'll send in the field goal unit. We'll get our first look at Sam Leathers, the senior. This ball going to be spotted at the 26-yard line. 36-yard field goal attempt as we near the 4-minute mark. Snap, ball down, Leathers kick on the way. He's got plenty of leg, but no good. Off to the right. So both teams with beautiful opportunities on their opening possessions, but neither can come away with points. We're scoreless at 4:19 in the first quarter.
No, so this game, wait. You have a commercial?
Watson, the handoff, and not much doing here on first play with the run is Godlock.
Godlock with the ball. Picked up. And 3. Walker on the top. 2nd and 7.
Watson going to hand off again. Here's Jay Godlock again. And he'll put his team in a 3rd and short. Now this could be a high-octane game tonight. Both of these teams going to need their energy. The energy for the Georgia High School Football Playoffs brought to you by Georgia's Peanut Farmers. Watson on 3rd down decides to keep. Still looking. Flushed. Fires. Caught. Got his man. Defender slips. 40. Lots of speed. 30. 25-20. Defender coming up from behind to strip and tackle, and does inside the 5-yard line. It's Chaston Newman, the junior, on the reception. No, by the way, Chaston, bottom half of the screen here, looks like he's in a little bit of pain. Great hustle play by the defender to catch him from behind, but Watson now with a 1st and goal, and number 4 standing in the shotgun. Snap, handoff. This is Godlock again. And it looks like he's just shy of the end zone. Jay Godlock, one of the top multi-purpose players for this team between Godlock and Bird. Godlock, a junior, and Michael Bird, the sophomore, whom we've not seen much of yet tonight, but we will. Those two guys have combined for over 1,300 yards of total offense. Watson keeps his time and slips again. Bringing up 3rd and goal. Deshaun Watson with just shy of 5,000 yards of total offense this year. 47-42 total yardage. 67 touchdowns total. What an amazing, amazing year. Watson looking, firing, batted away. Oh, what a beautiful defensive play. That last play broken up by Josh Alexander. And a 4th and goal. Deshaun going to keep it. Head to the end zone and score. Deshaun Watson chasing all sorts of records inside one of the great states in our nation for high school football. This is a record he's getting close to, the all-time and single-season touchdown scoring records. He's got number 68 tonight, and his team leads 6-0. And now Gage Turner. Gage, one of the top PAT men in the entire state. Snap, kick on the way, and it is good. Gage coming into the playoffs was 66 out of 71 on PA attempts. He drills his first of this evening through at 2:19 in the first quarter. And the Gainesville Red Elephants lead the Whitewater Wildcats 6-7-0 here on the Play On High School Sports Network. Little squib job, and that ball's loose. Remember, that is a free ball. A little trickery on the kickoff following the opening touchdown of the ball game. You know, the only problem with that is the result, when it doesn't work, is that Whitewater now opens with possession at the 44-yard line, or nearly the 45. I formation again. 2 receivers down here on the near side and a tight end on top. Conley. Kendall powering his way over the 50. Boy, oh boy. The way he keeps his feet and his legs moving on a carry like that. He took on the defender, and the defender, because he's so low and keeps his legs low and his body crouched, the defender, when he comes in contact with him, is almost over the top of him. Yet he continues, as his shoulders buried in the belly of the defender, to carry him 3-4 yards past the initial contact. Man comes in motion near side. That's Morgan. Ashley checks him. Now the snap, give back to Conley. Kendall with a spin move inside, and he's got his team a first down. Kendall, Conley, you see why they love this guy so much. Versus Glen Academy in their playoff opener, Conley went for 290 yards and 5 scores.
Swinger good. On the stop. Ball is agreed with 44, first and 10, Whitewater.
Ashley rolls this time. They pick up the blitzing man, and they've got a wide receiver down there. That was Conley, and it's incomplete. Just a bit beyond his reach, but a good idea. A beautiful play call there. So many big games from around the state tonight. Ridgeland and Marist at 7-7 in Atlanta. What a matchup that is. Marist led with a few really great athletes. Miles, one of their great quarterback, and of course they're going against Von Bell, who is one of the best defenders in the entire nation. Still yet to commit, by the way. Northside and Northside, Warner Robins, and Ware County. Thanks, Mark. The winner of that one plays the winner of this one, and Ware County leads 7-0. Handoff. Near side now, got a change in running back. That's our first look at Christian Wofford, a sophomore who they really, really like. And we go under a minute first quarter. Maybe looking at the final play of the first quarter here in this semifinal matchup. Whitewater breaks the huddle, comes out in their standard I. Wofford still in the ball game with Welch to block. Ashley takes the snap. Jay fakes the handoff. Play action flushed. Got a blocker out in front. Jay with a lot of speed outruns his blocker and is hit right at the first down mark. But both players, after collapsing to the field, jump up and have a little mano-a-mano stare at each other there. What a tremendous collision of humanity right around the 35-yard line, a yard shy of the first down. Well, exclamation point to end the first quarter. We'll be back with a 3rd and 1 coming up, or a 4th and 1 play coming up in a 7-0 Gainesville lead. To the second quarter we go right here on the Play On High School Sports Network.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to come at you.
One shot.
Georgia Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance, presenting sponsors, is the presenting sponsor of the football playoff and official award presented to GHSA.
Back in Fayetteville, want to remind you folks, if you want to join the conversation about high school football from around the state, remember, it's Semifinal Friday. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Play On Sports, hashtag GHSA Football. And for live scores and highlights, you can go to playonsports.com/Georgia Football Playoffs. Alongside Todd Edwards running the camera tonight for me, Lewis Rocca, Mark Rothberg, and Maggie Rayner. I'm Chris Mooneyham. Thanks for joining us here on the network as we start second quarter action in a 7-0 Gainesville lead. The winner goes to Atlanta. Handoff to Conley. Met right at the line of scrimmage by a gaggle of red elephants. What do you call a group of red elephants? Is that a herd? I know it's not a gaggle. It's a herd. Thank you. I'll remember that. Watch out for that later in the broadcast. I will, in fact, use it. And Todd Edwards waits with bated breath. So Gainesville takes over after the 4th down play, and conversions like that for Whitewater will be so key in this ball game. Look at this play. They've got Bird out in front, inside the 30. Michael Bird, the sophomore. I was speaking of him a moment ago. This young man has gone over 900 yards, of total offense so far this year. Between Bird and Godlock, really, these are the two guys that have taken this team to a whole nother level. Bird stays in. Watson, the big kid, stands beside him. Watson, who's thrown for nearly 900 yards in the playoffs and 12 touchdowns, and rushed for 400 yards and 9 touchdowns, and he's at it again. Brought down just shy of the line of scrimmage, I believe. How good is Deshaun Watson as a sophomore? Now, you're not going to believe these statistics, but this is the truth now. This is not broadcaster hyperbole. As a sophomore, this kid had 4,324 total yards, 57 combined touchdowns, 41 in the air, 16 on the ground. As a sophomore, handoff inside. A little bit of a misdirection. Looked like they had the tackle pulling out there. Going to bring up a 3rd and long. Watson, a verbal commit to Clemson University. Clemson and the Dabos. 3rd and 7 coming up. Out of the shotgun, Watson looks. Little outlet pass out here to Godluck, or Bird rather, who makes a good move. Gets inside the 15 and down near the 10-yard line. That kid is so tough to bring down. Michael Bird is only 5'5", 150. He's smaller than Mark Rothberg, for goodness sakes. Deshaun Watson almost as big as you, Todd. A holding on the play. My, oh my, we're bringing it back. Well, that's one of the few ways to slow down the Gainesville offense. Mr. Salters says, let's go back the other way. So another shot at a big 3rd down play here. And the stands rattle underneath our feet. On the home side in Fayetteville, Watson. 3 receivers near side. Deshaun going to look. Couple of steps. Going to fire out in the flat, incomplete. Put a little too much on that one for Michael Bird. No chance they're punting this one away. Unless they had Deshaun do a little pooch kick. 3 receivers near side. Another 4th down play. Second 4th down opportunity we've seen for Deshaun Watson and the Red Elephants tonight. Got a couple of guys going deep. He's looking at one of them, fires. Caught inside the 20. Makes a good move inside the 15 and near the 10-yard line. Trey Harrison, the junior. Trey, who made some absolutely huge catches 2 weeks ago against Kell over in Marietta in their 40-7 second half and 61-42 win. First down for the Red Elephants, and that's absolutely huge. As much for Gainesville as it is for Whitewater's defense. Watson keeps, got some space, hurdles over a guy, and he's inside the 5. You see the athleticism out of a guy who's 6'3", 195. I always hate to use these comparisons, but he's very Cam Newton-esque. Handoff. Bird is in. Michael Bird scores, and Gainesville leads 13-0. Now this is a very dangerous spot, even early, for Whitewater. Extra point on the way, and good. Well, 3 possessions for Gainesville. They've been stopped on a 4th down play, and they've scored twice. Whitewater, 2 possessions. They were stopped on a 4th down and had a missed field goal. It's these type of moments that we remember 3 hours from now. Turner puts in another little screamer out there. It's recovered at the 30. Just a moment, we'll get to more scores from around the state. Find out what's going on between Northside, Warner Robins, and Ware County. Again, the winner of this semifinal will play either Northside or Ware County at the Dome next week. That's a Friday night kickoff, by the way, an 8:30 kickoff Friday night for the 5A state title. Hand off to Conley right up the middle, and he's met right there. 7-7 ball game now, by the way. That in the second quarter. Big second 9 play. Ashley's going to throw. Fires out here where he's got Morgan. Tries to make a move. Trying to cut back to the inside because he knew he needed about 2 more yards to get to the first down mark. Couldn't quite get there, so it'll bring up a 3rd and short. Very interesting matchup in the 6A classification. Thanks, Mark. North Cobb and Lovejoy tied at 7. Lovejoy, one of the feel-good stories of the state tournament so far in all the classifications. This Whitewater team has surprised some folks. This Whitewater team has not been ranked all season. Lost their season opener. That kept them from jumping into the rankings. A lot of uncertainty at the quarterback position, and, of course, they've won 12 in a row since. Conley finally brought down after a run that will produce a first down, and they'll keep it going from the about the 47-yard line. Or, pardon me, the 43-yard line.
Picked up the first down. Just enough time to Wildcat 43, 10, flag line.
Tight end bottom side. Ashley rolling out, firing where he's got a man wide open, Connolly. Boy, oh boy, if Jay puts a little more on that pass, Conley's coming down the near sideline to bring his team to within 8. He left it a little short. Kendall did a great job of making the catch, and it'll get his team another first down at the 41. Sandy Creek and Monroe area, by the way, in another slugfest where the Creek leads Monroe 7-0. Under 8 minutes left here in the first half in Fayetteville. 14-0. The Red Elephants out in front. Man goes in motion. That's Morgan. Toss back. Conley. Near side. Got the 35-yard line. Officially the 34. Boy, we've seen Kendall Conley touch the football a lot tonight. He has certainly been the workhorse so far this year. As I mentioned, over 2,000 yards. They throw the ball to him a little bit. They also let him return punts at various points during the season. He had a 68-yard punt return versus Stars Mill, one of their arch rivals, during the regular season. Well, if you're Amos McCrary, ride the hand that got you here. Let the kid rest during the Christmas break. Ashley hands it off to him again. He lowers his head and heads into a defensive back and 2 linebackers where he's met just beyond the line of scrimmage. Want to thank you all for joining us here on the network. The 11,000 plus of you. Alongside the rest of our crew here on the Play On High School Sports Network, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Big 3rd and 3 play coming up here. Late first half. Ashley, they call on him to run, or they call on him to pass. He decides to run, and he's got his team a first down near the 26-yard line. Boy, how good has Jay Ashley been this year? Mercy. It's one of those stories where you have to give the MVP of the team to Conley because of his incredible year. But at the same time, if there's an MIP, most important player, you may have to give it to Ashley. Kendall met right at the line of scrimmage and brought down by a man who makes a lot of plays just like that. Damian Grayson, the senior, who leads his team in sacks and tackles, or second in the team in tackles. Don't want to make that mistake because their leading tackler, Devin Stringer, the junior, is one of the best in the state. Goes as a 1-yard loss. 2nd and 11. 5.5-minute mark, second quarter, 14-0 Gainesville. Toss. This gives Kendall room to work. Except for when you get a linebacker blitzing and another coming around the corner. They do a good job of eating up the blockers, staying to assignment. That's the key on the toss. When you're the linebacker and the defensive end, you're working almost in tandem, and you know that one of you has got to take on that left tackle, the other's got to take on the fullback coming across the block. Hopefully, if you both do your job, it'll open it up for a safety coming up, or perhaps the other outside linebacker. Well, I don't see this much. 4 wide receivers. Ashley in the shotgun. Conley again, trying to spread them out. Blocks first tackle. 20-yard line. Conley still on his feet. 10-5. Touchdown. Whitewater, their opening score of the ball game, and it's 14-6. Finally giving these fans in Fayetteville something to cheer for. And boy, are they ever. Extra point attempt coming up now. And here's Leathers. Good snap, good hold. And the kick hits the upright on right side. Oh boy. Keep track of that one. 14-6 Gainesville lead. So a missed field goal and an extra point that touches the very top of the upright. That'll get a lot of people buzzing who may be taking in this ball game from all across the state. And if you want to talk about it with some of your fellow watchers here on the network, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Join the conversation about high school football. It's Semifinal Friday. You can join us at Play On Sports, hashtag GHSA Football. Now Gainesville with a lead late. Here first quarter at 4:38. There was a penalty called on Gainesville at the end of the last play, by the way, and I'll have to apologize. As I was writing down the score on my score sheet here, I missed the official call from Phil Salters and his crew. But from where they're kicking this one off at, I can tell you it was most likely a personal foul, 15-yard penalty. So Gainesville going to get it back with an 8-point lead at 4:38 first half. Little worm burner. Still loose, and it goes out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Remember, folks, if you're not very adept at the rules here, that's a loose live ball. That's just like a long onside kick. That's a play that makes every coach in America nervous as all get out. So Gainesville with possession back. They've scored on 2 of their 3 possessions tonight and been stopped on that one possession on a 4th down play in which Watson had running room but lost his feet underneath him. Here he's in the shotgun, and he'll keep right up the middle. Got a couple of blockers. Now he's met by defenders just shy of the 35-yard line. Had Malik Harris in on the tackle. Wofford was in there as well. And Alexander. They got a pretty good little linebacking core. Watch 4. That guy's a little spark plug. Little Joey Renta. Handoff. They love running that handoff and then that fake run out by Watson. It's a fake bootleg run. Under 4 minutes. It's a very big possession for Whitewater's defense. Got a flag. Fired across the middle and caught. 50-yard line, 45-yard line, and dragging 2 defenders over the 40-yard line on the reception is LaHayes Leverett. But let's wait just one moment. Illegal motion called on the kids in white. So we'll negate the fine play by the senior. .30-yard line now. And we'll call it 2nd and 14 and a timeout called on the field. Whitewater uses their second timeout of the first half, stopping the clock at 3:39. And we'll take a quick break here on the Play On High School Sports Network.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
Back in Fayetteville in a 14-6 Gainesville lead. The Red Elephants have possession late in this first half. They're led by one of the most electrifying players in the entire nation, Deshaun Watson. If you're just tuning in, the kid on the top left portion of your screen, the quarterback for Gainesville in the shotgun. Lamar County and Calhoun 14-7, by the way. The Yellow Jackets lead Franklin Stevens and his team. Going deep. Got a man beyond the secondary. Caught. 40, 30, and down around the 25-yard line. A beautiful pitch and catch from Deshaun Watson to Trey Harrison. Harrison with so much speed, the junior just outran the defender. Oh boy, Cartersville leads Buford, the Buford machine, as I like to call them, trailing 10-0 to the Purple Hurricanes. We saw Cartersville last week, and boy, they looked pretty good. Rough at times, but they were also playing the number 1 team in the state. Deshaun. Men at the line of scrimmage. Malik Harris again. Malik Harris held him up for Welch and Renta and Wofford. Maris now a 14-7 lead on Ridgeland. Wow. Stay with us here throughout the entire night. If you stay with us here in Fayetteville, I'll give you updates for all the rest of the games. You don't need to switch back and forth. Deshaun stopped just inside the 25-yard line, and what you're looking at now is a 3rd and long. Wonder if Coach Miller will call a timeout. He's got 3 in his pocket right now, under 3 minutes. Nope. Going to try to keep Whitewater from any changes. They do change out 1 defender. 2 receivers top, 2 to the bottom. Godlock will empty out of the backfield. Watson going to the end zone where a defender down there and in between his hands. Too high for Harrison, his intended receiver, and just through the hands Jake Carlson, the defender. Jake Carlson, number 23, the senior, couldn't come up with that one. Well, here they go again. 3rd time we've seen Gainesville go for it on 4th down tonight. They're 1 for 2. Oh, nearly caught. But incomplete inside the 15-yard line. His intended receiver was Jay Godlock. Oh, wow. North Cobb, right at that very same moment, scores to go up 20-7 on Lovejoy. Oh, boy. Boy, we saw North Cobb during the regular season. They didn't look this good. So Whitewater now gets possession back. 4 possessions for Gainesville tonight. 2 that have been stopped on fourth down plays, and twice they've scored. Whitewater's 4th possession tonight. Conley, near side, out of bounds just over the 30. 4th possession for Whitewater. Missed a field goal, scored a touchdown, stopped on a fourth down play. .220 from halftime. You see Jay Ashley, number 1, comes from the sidelines to bring in every play. Conley, right side, runs into a herd of red elephants, and he's brought down at the 30. Prince Avenue leads Landmark. Boy, oh boy. 14-7 the score in that one. If you're a diehard high school fan in this state and you like to fill out the brackets for high school football, like, say, the NCAA tournament, I bet you got red marks all over your single A bracket. Because at one point you had an 11 playing a 12, and I think a 2 playing a 13. And Conley has the first down for Whitewater. The ball may have come loose, and this could be a turning point in the ball game. A red elephant comes out with possession. You had Brinqueasy Dukes, the linebacker at 5'8", 190, the junior, that came out of the pack with the football. And Gainesville has possession at the 36-yard line. Remember this moment at 1:39. Speaking of the single A classification, Elka leads George Walton 20-14. Walton, one of those miracle stories I was talking about just a moment ago. Oh boy. Now this is a big moment in the ball game. The second turnover total in the ball game, both belong to the Wildcats. You cannot give Gainesville extra opportunities. Deshaun tries to make it hurt. Incomplete. Holy smokes, he had him open. Norcross has now broken the scoreless tie with Colquitt and leads 7-0 in the first quarter. Lackey was the intended receiver, by the way, on that last play from Watson. Gainesville still with 3 timeouts. 1:35 and Watson. Look at him spin in between tacklers. He's so big that he doesn't shy away from the contact. But what he does is he has that ability to put that little shimmy and that great hip move. Yeah, he's got great feet. I went down at midfield and watched him in pregame warm-ups. But one thing you always see about the great runners at every level is that they have great hip control and vision. Watson has that. He's so big, he's not afraid of the contact, and he can move in between defenders as he hits Caleb Heyman here on this reception. Heyman, the big senior, 6'1", or 6'2", 210. That big kid runs a 4.7 40, and he's a verbal to South Alabama. A couple of years, he's going to be catching passes from Calhoun's quarterback, one of the winningest quarterbacks in state history, Taylor Lamb. How about that on your resume? Yeah, I caught touchdowns from Watson and Lamb. Watson fires, incomplete. Boy, oh boy, he bought just enough time to suck in the defender, but couldn't quite hit Bird as he fired it right at him from about 8 yards away.
Is that where Crowell is? South Alabama?
53 seconds. 2nd and 10, 21-yard line. Flag blows the play dead. False start. I don't mean to complain, but a second ran off the clock right there, and it really shouldn't have. That play was blown dead. They should have reset the clock to 53 seconds. Watson with a man in motion. The reverse, and they're throwing it back to Watson, but a defender comes in, and Watson makes the catch over him. What can he not do? Clock running. Coming up on 30 seconds. They still did not get the first down on the play, by the way. Ball spotted. Just shy of the 10. So now Deshaun Watson with a reception in this ball game. Future Tiger with clock running inside 20. They got to use a timeout after this handle, unless Bird can score. He's down inside the 5 at 14 seconds. And they do, in fact, use their first timeout of the first half. Boy, both of these teams with this high-octane pace going to need some energy for the rest of this ball game, and energy for the GHSA football playoffs, brought to you by Georgia's Peanut Farmers. Georgia's Peanut Farmers, an official sponsor of Georgia high school football here on the Play On High School Sports Network. I want to remind you folks to stay tuned during the half if you're into the pageantry that is high school football in the state of Georgia. Bands and fans coming up at the half. We'll pull down the audio feed so that you don't have to listen to us talk in the background and so that I can go hit the oxygen tank. But we will have the visual feed continuing to run throughout halftime here in Fayetteville. Bands and fans coming up at the half. Northside and Ware County right now, a 10-0 Ware County lead over Northside Warner Robins. That game actually at the half now. Remember, Northside or Ware going to the Dome, and they'll play the winner of this one here tonight. Gainesville sitting on 2 timeouts in 14 seconds. The ball placed at the 2-yard line with 1st and goal. This is a huge moment for Whitewater. Deshaun looking, quick fire, dropped. Ball thrown a little bit behind Lackey, so maybe not fair for me to say it was dropped, but I bet you Rodney would tell you that he maybe should have caught that one. Calhoun and Lamar County still at 14-7, by the way. That one late, second quarter action. Boy, I love semifinal Friday in the state. 11 seconds left in this first half. Watson got 5 receivers. 4 to the near side. Watch the quarterback keeper here. This may be a designed run down up to the top side. Let's watch. The fade. Boy, they could have called pass interference on both of them, and finally a flag comes out. A lot of hand fighting down there. Something like we may see in the Pacquiao fight tomorrow night. Phil Salters gets the call from the back judge, and we'll see what he says it is officially as he comes over here to make Todd Edwards' shot a little bit easier. Pass interference on Whitewater. Jefferson and GAC at 27-14 right now. The Dragons out in front of the Spartans. Boy, a lot of scoring in that one. 7 seconds. They may get only one shot at this if Watson decides to do one of his patented rollouts. But they've got time for 2. 1st and goal. He does roll out. Fires. Got his man caught right at the 1-yard line, and he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. It's the sophomore, Rodney Lackey. And it's 20-6. Turner for the extra point. Snap, ball down, kick on the way, and it is good. Very dangerous, dangerous time for Whitewater. The good news is we're right about at the half, so they'll have time to try to adjust during the break. But right now they trail by 15 with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Turner to kick for the Elephants.
Last play of the first half, barring something a little wild. Receiving man decides to take it right up the middle, and he stopped just past the 40-yard line. So to the half in Fayetteville we go in what has been a very entertaining first half of semifinal action here in the 5A ranks, where the Gainesville Red Elephants have been, well, what they've been all season, explosive and precise, and they lead the Whitewater Wildcats 21-6 at the half we go in the 5A ranks in this semifinal here on the Play On High School Sports Network.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Back on the campus of Whitewater High School here in Fayetteville, Georgia, in the first of two semifinals inside the 5A classification, where tonight the Gainesville Red Elephants are taking on the Whitewater Wildcats here on the campus of Whitewater High School. A 21-6 ball game as we make our way to second half action in Fayetteville. And what a very entertaining first half it was. The winner of this one takes on either Ware County or Northside Warner Robins for the state championship next Friday night at the Big Dome in Atlanta. Right now, Ware County and Northside have started second half action, and Ware leads Northside of Warner Robins 10-7. In this ball game, a quick scoring recap for you. In the first quarter, Deshaun Watson on a quarterback keeper went in from 2 yards out, and his team led 7-0 after the extra point. He hit Michael Bird, or handed off to Michael Bird, rather, a 1-yard touchdown run, 14-0 Gainesville in second quarter action. Also in the second quarter, a 21-yard touchdown run by Kendall Conley for Whitewater got us back to 14-6 after a missed extra point. And then finally, right before the end of first half action, Deshaun Watson hit Lackey from 1 yard out, and that produced our 21-6 score at the half. Big storylines throughout the first half. 2 turnovers for Whitewater that, well, the first one wasn't costly on the scoreboard because Gainesville recovered the fumble and was not able to score. They were forced on 4 downs and out. But anytime you're giving that offense for Gainesville an extra opportunity, it still can wear on your defense. The next turnover that Whitewater committed did result in 7 points for Gainesville. So 2 turnovers for Whitewater. They've been stopped on 4th down on a drive. Gainesville's been stopped twice on 4th down in 2 separate drives. Whitewater also has missed a field goal and an extra point. And flags starting to become a storyline in this one as well. Mr. Salters says false start on the kids in red and white. So 7-0 at the end of one. Gainesville led 14-0. Then 14-6 after Conley scored on a 21-yard touchdown run and a missed extra point. In between those 2 plays, those 2 scoring plays, that's when Whitewater missed their field goal attempt. And then again, a 1-yard touchdown pass from Watson to Lackey, 21-6. Our score as we start second half action. Deshaun Watson with a blitz coming in on him. Throws a little flare across the middle that's caught. Trying to move around 2 blockers and 2 defenders. Still on his feet. Got a chance at midfield and gets over the 35-yard line. On the reception, the aforementioned Rodney Lackey. Lackey, who leads his team in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. And that's saying something because, as I mentioned in the first half, this team with 7 players at double-digit receptions in 2012. Watson audibling. Fires out here near side. This is Heyman. Second reception of the ball game for Caleb Heyman, the senior. This offense for Gainesville, soak in these numbers. They've scored 30-plus points in all but 1 ball game this year in 12 of their 13 ball games. They've scored over 40 in 10 of their 13 games so far this year. I mean, think about that. Watson the handoff. This is Bird. Michael Bird, the sophomore, streaking past defenders. Touchdown, Red Elephants. A 55-yard touchdown run, and the Red Elephants score first in second half action. By the way, another scoring update. Marist and Ridgeland tied at 14 in Atlanta. Extra point on the way, and it is good. 28-6, and this is a very dangerous spot for Whitewater right now. Yeah, we got a long way to go, and just a 22-point lead, but with that offense that the Red Elephants are running over there, Boy, it's so hard to keep them from scoring. They have yet to punt the football tonight. Mercy. Allatoona now knows, you know, they may have to shut Gainesville out for the remainder of this ball game. That's a bad prescription. High kick. Taken by Wofford just outside the 10. Christian to the 25 and the 30. And he's over the 30-yard line. Wrestled down at about the 33. Nice return for Christian Wofford. He may be the heir apparent coming up next year after the graduation of Kendall Conley. Prince Avenue continues to lead Landmark Christian 14-7, now in third quarter action from around the state. Ashley comes under center, I formation. Got a tight end in the ball game, hand off to Conley, who powers up the middle. They don't ask Jay Ashley to throw the ball very much, but you have to believe that they'll ask him to throw just a tad bit more here in the second half, already down by 22. Ware County now with a 17-7 lead on Northside Warner Robins. Well, I'll tell you something. If Ware County plays Gainesville for the state championship, there's going to be a lot of surprised folks. Comparing to guys at the beginning of the tournament. Ashley keeps. He gets over the 35-yard line. They'll spot him officially 37-yard line, so not much more than about a 2-yard gain. And a man down. Officials timeout on the field, and we're going to take it with them in a 28-6 score, 10-18 left, third quarter action on the Play On High School Sports Network.
One match away from immortality. One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Back in Fayetteville in a 28-6 ball game. Gainesville out in front. If you want to talk about this ball game and all the other semifinal games going on here on Semifinal Friday from around the state, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Play On Sports, hashtag GHSA Football. Brinquez Dukes is up and on his feet and now taken off the field for Gainesville. Young man looked just to be shaken up on that play, but he looked to be all right. Ashley getting away from defenders. Throws one out there and incomplete. He just tried to get rid of that one to save the yardage. Boy, he was really slammed to the turf on that one. And that will bring out the punt unit after the third down play. And that's a big one. Momentum squarely in favor of the Red Elephants. Austin Barnard, the senior now. Right footer gets into it. Beautiful kick. Beautiful kick inside the 20. Fair catch called and made by Trey Harrison. Well, let's see, have I said it once or twice? Still a lot of time to go in this second half, but if Gainesville could go down and get points in this possession, you don't quite think it's the knockout blow. But brother, it gets you real close. 9:54, third quarter. We're just 3 minutes into this third quarter, into this second half. Hand off to Godlock, I believe, is back into the ball game. Jay? Or is it Bird? You never know with those two guys. They're built similarly. They're hard to see. There it is. Yeah, it's Godlock. Jay, the junior, on the carry. About the same weight. Jay got a couple of inches on his teammate Bird. Fires out in the flat, caught. Wide receiver Lackey can't quite keep his momentum from carrying him out of bounds. Bring up third and short. Two receivers near side and one to the top. Two backs in to block for Deshaun. And he'll keep. Design run left side, and he's tripped up past the first down mark. And it looks like officially at the 32. Well, now they back the ball up and call it the 31. Gainesville looking for 6 more. They've only been stopped tonight on fourth down plays. Handoff. Jay spins out of a tackler, then meets 3 more guys, and he's brought down to the 35-yard line. Gainesville looking for a return trip to the state championship, a place they have not been since 2009. Coach Bruce Miller was their leader then. Of course, they had Blake Sims on that team, who's now a quarterback at the University of Alabama, and a kid named A.J. Johnson, one of the best linebackers to ever come through this state. A.J. now patrolling the middle of the defense over at Tennessee. A.J. got a new head coach now, by the way. Firing deep and batted away. Heyman, the intended receiver, and a tremendous defensive play there by Vincent. So now 3rd and 7. 35-yard line. Whitewater really needs a stop on third down. Gainesville's been very good on third down tonight. Deshaun is flushed. Coming far side. He is right at the first down mark. Where will they spot him? Official says run the clock, but they're going to have to call an official's timeout. No, they won't. Boy, they'll just give the first down to Watson. And that's a big one. Whitewater, not exactly a quick strike offense. When they score quick, it's because one of their running backs will break off a long run. Maybe Ashley will go out on a bootleg and break one off, or it'll come on a short pass that a wide receiver breaks one loose. So the longer Gainesville has the football in this possession and subsequent possessions, not good news for the Wildcats. And now Gainesville about a half yard shy of another first down. Mention the history for the Red Elephants. Made it to the state championship game in 2009, finished as the state runner-up. A lot of people don't realize the Red Elephants, one of the winningest, oldest programs in the history of national high school football. Running back stopped behind the line of scrimmage, going to bring up another big third down play. Gainesville's played, I think there's only 39 teams in the entire nation that's played more games than Gainesville. And they're also in the top 50 of all-time wins nationally. Watson fires across the middle, finds his wide receiver in the middle of the defense. He had the first down, but the ball comes popping out. And this is what the Wildcats needed, a turnover to get possession back and potentially back in the ball game. A catch and fumble at 7:35 in the third quarter. Joey Renta on the fumble recovery. So Ashley and the men in black and silver have it back. Can they make it count? Linebacker blitzing on top side, handoff to Conley, and that linebacker does eventually make contact with Connolly. On the blitz was Michael Pittman. Pittman, a senior at 5'9", 195, and one of the hardest hitters on his team. Done a good job of keeping Devin Stringer quiet tonight. Stringer, a guy who's nearing the 200 tackle mark. Are you kidding me? 3 down linemen. Blitzing. There's Stringer. And Conley runs right past him. 45, 50, near side, cuts back into the inside just a bit. Gets close to the 40-yard line. Beautiful big-time run by Kendall Conley. Conley had 2 touchdowns last week versus Allatoona, versus Northgate. During the regular season, he went for 205 on 28 carries and 3 touchdowns. What an amazing season for this guy. They're backing it up. Boy, oh boy. A hold. Block downfield. Personal foul. My goodness. Well, nothing will shoot your momentum down like a personal foul call and the loss of 15 yards. Came after the play, however, so it'll still be 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And get you an update on Cartersville-Buford right now. The Buford Machine trails the Purple Hurricanes 10-7 midway through the third quarter in that one. Or pardon me, right near the end of the third quarter up in Cartersville on the banks of Lake Allatoona. Ashley's going deep. Reese got Morgan, who lays out and can't quite bring it in. Boy, Jay put just a tad bit too much on that one. Boy, the Purple Hurricanes up in Cartersville having another dream season. You know, they've gone through some tough times over the last 4 or 5 years. Although they're a highly winning program. You know, they kind of mirror Gainesville in some ways. Win a lot, don't win the ultimate trophy all that much. Oh boy, an interception by Payne, but it's getting called back because the officials actually blew this play dead before it developed. Offsides on Gainesville. Well, that could have been absolutely disastrous for Whitewater. Fred Payne had an interception last week in their victory over Harris County. He had a huge, and I mean huge, interception against Kell over in Marietta. Saw them 2 weeks ago. I called that game here on the network. Gainesville trailed 35-21 at the half, scored 40 in the second half versus Kell. And Fred Payne made one of the biggest plays of the ball game with his interception late in that one. Closing in on the 6-minute mark, third quarter action. The tension's starting to build over here on the home side. It's starting to get late. Third and 3 quarters. Third and 3 yards and 3 quarters. Wofford in the ball game. Watch for the tight end. Nope, they'll give it to Christian, and he's met. And I mean absolutely met right at the line of scrimmage by none other than Devin Stringer, one of the top linebackers in the state. If you're a coach or a scout, you got to get after this kid. He is not receiving the offers that he deserves. He's nearly a 200-tackle man this year. Well, I hear some of the crowd over here on the side screaming to Coach McCreary to go for it as his team trails nearing the 5-minute mark on 4th and 2. Not a fake. Barnard gets his right foot into it. Big lollipop job that hits and rolls into the end zone for the touchback. You know, I may echo the sentiments of that gentleman over in the crowd. Hey, you still got 15 minutes left in this ball game, but you're down by 22. Your defense is struggling. Sometimes extreme, and it's 4th and 2. Good point, Todd Edwards. Sometimes in extreme situations call for unorthodox calls. Maybe that's the opportunity where you have to go for it. Because, boy, if Gainesville scores again, you're in big trouble. They'll go with 4 down linemen, Whitewater will. They'll pull a linebacker down here to the near side. They've got 2 in the middle. Gainesville, Watson going to fire out here this near side. It's caught by Harrison, but he's met immediately by a cornerback. That play may actually go for a loss. And it will. Boy, they're going to mark that as a 2-yard loss. Marist goes up 21-14 on Ridgeland. That 4th quarter action, Mark? Yes, it is. 4th quarter action. Godlock tripped up right before he was able to get to the second level. Well, you don't need me to tell you this is a big 3rd down play. Watson directing traffic. They better hurry. Deshaun calls Harrison into the line of scrimmage. They got to get him set. He's telling Bird to switch sides now. Boy, this kid, what a leader. What a leader. Deshaun going to keep it, design run. They need the block by Bird. He does get the first guy. The second and third get to him, but not before Deshaun Watson. And his big 6'3", 195 frame gets over the 30-yard line. And I believe they'll mark him over the 30-yard line. That's what he needed for the first down. We got a flag down, I believe. I don't see it, but I see a conversation. Yep. Mercy. Face mask call. Now that's a big one. No mystery to the first down now. 36-yard line. Gainesville looking to drive down the field here under 4 minutes, 3rd quarter, for what could be the score that could send them to the Big Dome in Atlanta next Friday night. Watson keeps, hit immediately by a blitzing linebacker. Coming in on the play to meet him was Colton Clemens, the junior. Boy, the Buford Machine, they've now taken a 14-10 lead on the Purple Hurricanes of Cartersville. I think Buford should change their nickname to the Machine. The Wolves who've won state title after state title. Blitzing man coming in on Watson, and the ball popped out. Did Deshaun hold on to it? It looks like he did. A blitzing linebacker on outside. It was Christian Wofford who met him face to face. Well, that was some kind of collision. Lovejoy, who once trailed 28-21, has just scored to take a 7-point lead on North Cobb at 28-21. Watson hit as he throws. Intercepted! It's intercepted across the middle. And finally brought down. The defender is after a huge turnover. Josh Alexander, the sophomore, keeps his team alive in the semifinals. We're now even at 2 turnovers apiece. Boy, and I tell you what, if Alexander breaks to this near side right after the interception, he's got a shot to score. That really changed the energy level in this building. Ball spotted at the 20. 2 minutes, 35 seconds left, third quarter action. Whitewater got to get on it. Got to get some points and do it in a hurry. Morgan down to the near side. Never mind, he goes in motion. Got the I formation. He'll stop on top side and be a blocker as Kendall comes near side and the ball pops out. Gainesville says they have it, and I believe they do. Yes, they do. That could be the big one. Connor Calvert, number 58, on the fumble recovery. Boy, the shift in momentum. St. Pius leads North Hall 21-6 here on the network. Here in Fayetteville, Gainesville's just gotten possession back, up by 22. Mercy. Watson still on his feet and over the 30-yard line. Boy, oh boy. So now Gainesville +1 in the turnover department. Three fumbles, all lost for Whitewater. An interception and a fumble lost for Gainesville. Blitzing man comes through and makes the play behind the line of scrimmage. It was Bird on the carry and Colton Clemens on the hit. Boy, games all across the state getting exciting now. Ridgeland and Marist are tied at 21. Don't go anywhere. Hope you made yourself your sandwich and drink already. You're not going to be able to tear yourself away. 2 men blitzing. Watson fires out there and incomplete. His intended receiver was Lackey. So that's been the adjustment now. We've seen it. There's no question part of the adjustment at the half for Whitewater defensively was to send in a linebacker on blitz. Now over the last 3 possessions for Gainesville in the second half, we've seen a linebacker blitzing, I'd guess, 95% of the time. Watson, far side, still on his feet nearing the 40-yard line, and he's brought down right at it. So 4th down coming up. Now, no way they go for it here. Calhoun and Lamar County in a 21-14 close affair up in Calhoun. The Yellow Jackets lead by 7, and they are going for it. Well, you talk about confidence. Are they trying to draw them off sides? Let's watch together. Pooch punt. Thought we might see this earlier in the ball game. Boy, I tell you, the only problem with that is that you really give the defenders a chance to get a piece of that thing when you don't push Watson back further in the shotgun or put in a punter. But they don't pay me to coach. I'm just a dude talking. 55 seconds left, third quarter. Whitewater with the ball inside their own 20-yard line. down by 22. Wofford in the backfield with Welch to block. They'll give it to him. Christian to the near side, spins away from a tackler, but the second man comes in on him. That's Payne on the tackle.
Wofford on the carry, Payne on the stop. No gain on the play, brings up second and 10.
Ashley stays in the huddle this time, won't go over to the sideline to get the call from his head coach. Instead, Jonathan Womack will bring it in. Womack on the top side to block. Jay going to throw. Fires out here to Morgan. Gets the 25-yard line, tries to stiff arm a man to get at least a yard more, and he may have, but it's going to bring up a third and medium. And with that, the third down play coming up will signal the end of third quarter action. Now Jay brings in the play himself. Try for a big play on last play. They're expecting you to go short on 3rd and 1. Handoff. Wofford's got the first down. And a whole lot more. Christian to the near side. Trying to juke away from 2 men. He's got the 40-yard line and eventually pushed out of bounds on the final play of the third quarter. Well, after an initial touchdown drive by Gainesville, the Whitewater defense stiffens. But it turned into a turnover and penalty affair in the third stanza here in Fayetteville. To the fourth quarter we go. In a 28-6 ball game, the Red Elephants a quarter away from the state championship game right here on the Play On High School Sports Network.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
I thought they'd be killed. Yeah.
For their valuable support of Georgia High School and High School. Georgia Farm Bureau, Ruben Bank, Georgia Body, Horizon.
Want to remind you folks, as we make our way to the fourth quarter, energy is the key, and the energy that is powering the Georgia High School football playoffs is brought to you by Georgia's Peanut Farmers, the official sponsor of Play On's high school coverage, high school football playoff coverage. Ashley hands off to the running back Wofford, who is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Wofford, after a big carry to end the third quarter, was stopped on that one. Want to remind you folks, if you want to talk about this ball game with some other diehard high school football fans from across the state, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Play On Sports, hashtag GHSA Football. Ashley got 3 receivers down here on the near side. One streaking deep. He throws up a ball that is free and incomplete. Boy, oh boy, Jay threw that one up for grabs. I don't know if that was a mistake or not. "11 minutes left in someone's season." Winner moves on to the state championship game and will face either Northside, Warner Robins, or Ware County. Right now, Ware leads Northside 17-7 in that ball game. The 5A state championship game will take place at 8:30 Friday night down at the Dome in Atlanta. You know, I wonder about Conley. We haven't seen Kendall Conley in quite a bit. Ashley keeps, and he's tripped up before he can get back to the original line of scrimmage on a 3rd and 14 play. Indeed, it does look like they're going for it, and you have to in this spot. Alongside Todd Edwards, Maggie Rayner, Mark Rothberg, and Louis Rocca, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Thanks for joining us here on the network. Our final night of coverage of the Georgia High School football playoffs before we hand it off to our friends at GPB. Screen pass. Wofford. 35. Looking for the first down mark. He's awfully close. Official spot, sir. Just inside the 30-yard line, and Gainesville will take over. $10-25. That is a big one. Does Whitewater now have enough time? That's the question. You start working it through as the Whitewater coach. If we get possession back in the next 2 minutes, can we do this and that and the other? Handoff. This is Godlock, and Jay got about a 2-yard gain. Well, Deshaun Watson, when his career is over, he may go down as one of the great players. And look, I'm not exaggerating here, folks. He may go down certainly as one of the great players in state history. We got a penalty on the play, by the way, so they're going to back him up. Goes as a holding against Gainesville, pardon me. But, you know, Deshaun's got a chance to own multiple records in state history. He could be in the pantheon of gentlemen like Herschel, for instance. In the shotgun. Keeps himself. Right side. Brought down and around the 28-yard line. Maybe they'll give him the 29. He's got a chance when it's all said and done just this year. He could break single-season marks for touchdowns, total yardage, passing yardage. He needed only 230 tonight to become the all-time passing leader in state history. Still got a whole season to play next year. Remember, he's just a junior. Still 17-7, by the way. Ware County leads Northside. Deshaun straight up the middle on the keeper at the designed run. This is what they like to do with a lead late. One common thread that also runs through most of the greatest players in this state's history. They've all made runs very deep in the playoffs multiple times. This team lost in the state playoffs last year to the eventual state champions. Well, Watson now just 9 minutes away from the state championship game. He'll have some weapons coming back next year, by the way. He'll keep again. And he's tripped up just past the line of scrimmage, so they'll give it up. The punt team will come on for the very first time tonight for Gainesville. They'll have Trey Harrison coming back, the junior. Rodney Lackey, just a sophomore. Chaston Newman, just a junior. Bird, a sophomore. Godlock, a junior. Holy smokes. And Deshaun back deep to punt. Clock will reach the 8-minute mark, and this not the best kick for Deshaun. Hits at the 45, continues to roll, and will rest just inside the 40-yard line. 7:57 remaining. Still 17-7, Ware County out in front of Northside. And a literal up-to-the-minute scoring update. Ware County with possession and that lead. And they're punting it away. So, Northside going to get it back about midway through the fourth quarter in that one. False start call on Gainesville, so we'll kick it again. Now Coach McCreary accepts the penalty, which will force Watson to kick it again. I don't know, you lose time there. A better kick now by Watson. Of course, it gives your team a chance at a return. Splitting defenders, and brought down on the play is Josh Alexander, the sophomore, on the return. We've got another flag down. Boy, flags and turnovers in the second half. Gainesville players signaling that this one's going to be on Whitewater. I don't know, from where that one was thrown, I didn't see an illegal block, which is exactly what the call is. 7:45 left in this one. Push it back 10 more. Heading now into the home stretch here in Fayetteville. Again, thank all of you for joining us here on the Play On High School Sports Network. A lot of times we get the question, how many people exactly watch your broadcast? A high school football game, we got 15,000 plus right now. No wonder. It's the opportunity to see Deshaun Watson, and he's been a star tonight. One of the great players he'll be in state history, and he's got a shot, just as a junior, being the state player of the year, which is not won by underclassmen or players that are not seniors. Usually that's a senior job or a senior award, kind of like the Heisman. Of course, Johnny Football may win that one. Not to say it hasn't been won by underclassmen or juniors before, but usually a senior award. Watson's got a shot at it. Again, he's been tremendous tonight. Let's see. Let's go to the old scorecard here. He's had a hand in 3 of the touchdowns tonight for Gainesville. Ashley with the pitch, trying to get space for Wofford, who finds it, splits 2 defenders, meets another guy deep into the secondary at around the 45-yard line. You had 7-on-7 meeting there. Christian Wofford was tackled by Chandler Newton. But there is a flag down on the play. Is this going to be some kind of a block or a hold on the outside, as we so often see, with a flag thrown by the side judge? Mr. Salter is going to come on and give us the call. This could be very, very big. Hold. Mercy. You know Coach McCreary's going to be so frustrated right now. No score since the opening drive of the third quarter, when Gainesville went up 28-6. Who knew this would turn into a defensive slugfest in the second half? Of course, we've had 3 turnovers here in the second half, or 3 in the third quarter we had. 2 by Gainesville, 1 by Whitewater. One of the big momentum shifts in this ball game. Gainesville had their second turnover in as many possessions. Whitewater came up with it, and then on the very next play, gave it right back to Gainesville as Ashley throws one out here in the flat and overshoots his intended receiver, Jake Carlson. Pass game, not their thing. They can do it. They can get down the field in the passing game, but you see a lot more of the wide receiver, the slip screens, the slip passes, the inside screen passes, the bubbles. That one out in the flat. But the point is, Ashley's got to keep that ball up in the air and give Morgan, who made the reception, a chance to make that catch and then turn the corner around on the defender and get down that sideline. Ashley put a little too much on that and put it too much out to the outside. So as Morgan makes the catch, he has to go to the turf. Now a 3rd and 5 play coming up. Of course, in a spot like this, they got 2 plays to get 5 yards. Fires, caught again by Morgan, I believe, and I also think he's got the first down. And they do. Boy, they got to get on it, though. Now you need a score. If you can do it quick, you can kick the ball straight off to them without an onside kick. Use a couple of your timeouts, but you got to get 2 scores and then an onside kick. Wofford comes to the near side, and he's wrestled down. Curious that we have not seen Conley throughout what I believe is most of the second half. And as I search the players down on the sideline, I don't even see 25 down there. Kendall Conley has come out of the ball game. We've received no word from anyone here as to the development on that. Ashley dragged down from behind, dragged down by a defender on the play. It's Calvert again, who came up with that fumble recovery, the one I was speaking of a moment ago, just after the Gainesville turnover. Whitewater gave it right back to him, and Calvert was there for the fumble recovery. 3rd and very long now, 13. Jay's got to throw it. Trying to elude pressure, steps up in the pocket, tries to split 2 defenders, still on his feet to the 45-yard line. So past the original line of scrimmage, but looks like it's going to bring up 4th and about 6.5 yards. Call it 7. And a timeout called by Amos McCrary and the Whitewater coaching staff. This could be their season. Ridgeland and Marist, and now Marist has taken the lead on Von Bell and Ridgeland, 27-21. That one getting pretty late in the 4th quarter, if not very late. Don't have the time. Where will Von Bell of Ridgeland go? One of the top linebackers in the nation, certainly one of the top in the state. Still, his commitment is open. In this one, we've got some other top-level recruiting prospects. But right now, Deshaun Watson is winning the battle of all of them. His team leads by 22 at 5:28 left in the ball game. The winner goes to the Big Dome to play the Northside or Ware County, and as of just a few moments ago, Ware County continue to lead Northside Warner Robins 17-7. A 4th down play coming up here. 4th and 7. And they're punting it away. And a timeout called. Now hold on just a moment.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
Well, just a little fake out by Coach McCreary and Whitewater. Ashley back out there, standing in the shotgun. Jay takes the snap. Got Wofford to block. He picks up the linebacker. Firing. Caught! A catch made by Morgan. Into the secondary 20, 15, and inside the 10-yard line. Boy, oh boy, a season-saving play from Jay Ashley and Trevor Morgan, the senior wide receiver. Well, they're not dead yet. They could use a quick one, though.
First and goal, Whitewater at the 9.
Clock is started by the man in the white hat. We're coming down on 5 minutes. Question is, if they score here, do they go for the onside kick? I think you almost have to now that you've used 2 of your timeouts. Fires, caught, looking for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Whitewater, Jake Carlson. Yeah, we'll see if they go for 2. I'm not a big fan of it in this spot. I'll go ahead and take the extra point. Get back to within 15. I don't like going for the 2-pointer until you have to. But they will, in fact, go for it as Ashley comes back out with the offensive unit. Now look at this. Conley back into the ball game. Boy, we wondered aloud where Kendall Conley was, and now he's back into it. So he was either shaken up, and now he's fine. Gainesville going to call a timeout to reset things. Tell you what, we'll take another quick break with them in a 28-12 ball game at 4:59 here in Fayetteville on the Play on High School Sports Network.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Extra point attempt, and they will in fact go for 2. Welcome back. Whitewater's just scored to draw within 28-12. 2 receivers in motion come near side. Ashley going to send another guy out. Toss. Conley is throwing where he's got Ashley wide open for the 2-point conversion. Now that's a play call. I hear whistles. I'm looking for flags. There are none down on the field as far as I can see. Or maybe there is. We got a conversation between the officials here, but scoreboard says 28-14. Officials still discussing it. This ball game grinding to a halt over the last 3 minutes of play. And some very unhappy Wildcats on the field.
Touchdown.
And they will give it to him. Well, officials probably discussing that movement that was going on by Whitewater at that moment. So a 14-point game. They did what they needed. They scored relatively quick. Pseudo-quickly, if you will. They're back to within 14 at 4:59. We'll remind you for the last time tonight, if you want to join the conversation as all of the games from around the state are concluding, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at PlayOnSports, #GHSA Football. We started with 28 teams tonight. And as all the games around the state are starting to wind down within about the next 45 minutes or so, we'll know the 14 teams that will be battling for the Silver Cup at the Georgia Dome next week, next Friday and Saturday. Get your tickets today It's like I work for the GHSA. They decide for the onside kick. This, the biggest moment of the season for Whitewater. It'll be Leathers to put a foot on it. Sam gets 2 hops, and it is in the end caught by Godlock. Jay Godlock, the junior, there to recover the onside kick. I think Sam put a little more on that one than he wanted to. Also kicked a little too much to the inside of the field. I don't know, maybe that was their design, but of course, the further towards the inside of the field you kick it, you do want to kick it harder. You kick it too hard, when you're hitting that sharp angle, that thing will just bounce right on out of bounds. So Deshaun Watson with possession back, trying to bleed the clock and go to the title game. Hands off to Bird, and Michaels met shy of the 40. They'll give him about a 1.5 yard gain. Most importantly, clock runs to 4:45. Whitewater with 1 timeout left. We'll get you a scoring update here in just a moment if we can on Ware and Northside Warner Robins. Still 17-7 in that one. Getting late. Winner will meet the winner of this one tonight for the state title. Linebacker shows blitz. That's Conley. They got Conley into the game defensively now. He does this. He plays both ways. Watson coming to the near side. Evades 1 tackler. And a flag comes out after, about a 2-yard gain. This could be a big call for Whitewater, and it is a holding on Gainesville. So that'll back him up. Force Gainesville into a longer conversion situation. Now the script shrinks for Whitewater. Stop on defense. Get the ball back, score quickly. Of course, you got to get another onside kick. They don't have the timeouts, by the way, to work this thing. Northside has scored, by the way, in the 4th quarter action over at Ware County. And it's now a 17-14 ball game. You know what? They waved off that flag. Moved it back up after the gain, and it's 3rd and 6 now. Big play here. Deshaun looking over to the far side to his coaches, waiting for when they tell him to snap the football, as the play clock is winding down. And a flag. Somebody move. False start. Back them up 5 more. Ware County with the football. Northside with the football, by the way, very, very late in their matchup with Ware. And they've got the football, and they're also nearing the red zone. So both of the semifinal ball games inside the 5A classification coming down to the very end, the high drama in the state of Georgia. Watson still watching his coaches. 3:40 left in this one now. He'll take the snap, come near side on the design run. Stays in bounds, squirts through 2 tacklers and gets over the 50-yard line, and a first down conversion. At 3.5 minutes, and if you're Whitewater, boy, I gotta believe you've got to use that remaining timeout. Northside, by the way, versus Ware County trying for a game-tying field goal, and they have hit it. Holy smokes. Northside has scored very late in their matchup with Ware County, making a, about a 40-some-odd yard field goal, and has tied up Ware County. Boy, oh boy. Semifinal Friday, so very good. Here's Bird. Michael met right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a half-yard gain under 3 minutes, and the worry now starts to palpitate through this crowd here in Fayetteville. And actually, boy, I got to tell you, some people heading for the exits. It's going to be tough. This one's going to be tough. Another first down Whitewater still got a timeout, but another first down may put this one away. Watson still watching his coach. Now steps into it, takes a snap out of the shotgun, and they're throwing. The safety pass out to Bird. Now, wait a minute. Boy, oh boy. There was no whistle at the beginning of that play, so it looked for a moment like it could have been a lateral, but it was a pass, and Deshaun says something to Michael Bird about it. He probably said, hey, look, if there's any question about that and a ball like that goes through your hands, go over there and field the thing until you hear the whistle blow. Third down play again coming up. Boy, oh boy, and you throw that safety play if you're Gainesville, thinking that even if you get stopped behind the line of scrimmage, the guy's going to make the catch and the clock will continue to run. That's the worst thing that could have happened for Gainesville and the best for Whitewater. Watson looks for the win. Can't get to the first down mark. 45-yard line. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a possibility that they'll go for this first down here on this fourth down play. That play will take us under 2 minutes. Boy, I just wonder why Whitewater's still sitting on that one more timeout. I'd rather use it now and save the clock in this situation. We got a flag that's come out from the back judge, I believe. What's this call going to be? Wait a minute, a delay on Whitewater. A delay of game on Whitewater. Or was it an unsportsmanlike conduct? A delay of game on Whitewater or perhaps an unsportsmanlike conduct. Either way, it's an automatic first down for Gainesville, and that could effectively be the nail in the coffin. My goodness, a fourth down play coming up, and a penalty gives away the first down. Mercy. Well, if it was a delay of game, I can only think that maybe they kicked the football or touched the football after the official had put the ball down. By the way, Ware County and Northside Warner Robins, the Eagles and the Gators are going to overtime in the other 5A semifinal. Hope they've got some Georgia peanuts. Hand off to Bird. Michael bounces to the outside, looking for the 25-yard line. Two defenders collapse in on him and bring him down shy of the 25-yard line. Clock down to 1:19. Trying to do quick math in my head to see if Whitewater can get the ball back, and I don't believe they can. Marist is coming down to the very end, by the way. Oh, my goodness. Marist misses a field goal at the gun, and Ridgeland's going to the state championship. Wow. High drama all across the state tonight on semifinal Friday. And that will, in fact, be it here in Fayetteville. For the second time since 2009, the Gainesville Red Elephants, led by one of the most electrifying players in state history, they're going to the state championship game. What a tremendous season it was for the Wildcats of Whitewater. They lost their opening season ball game. They've been flying under the radar the entire season, really. They're the only team in the state semifinals still alive, well, at least coming into the semifinals, that was not ranked this season. Yet, on various occasions throughout this season, they've dominated their opponents. They won 12 consecutive ball games coming into tonight and had a really impressive playoff run, taking out Glenn and Lee County. And, of course, last week, their defense held thunder and lightning, as my broadcast partner Justin Hanover likes to call them, TJ Herron and Josh Batista from Allatoona, two 1,000-yard runners to under 100 yards collectively. But tonight, their 2012 season will come to an end. But again, they've got a bright future ahead of them, does the Whitewater team. Remember, they've got Jay Ashley, and he's just a sophomore. Kendall Conley will move on, the 2,000-yard rushing man. but they'll have Russell Welsh, the fullback, coming back, Christian Wofford, the sophomore, coming back. Of course, they will lose 3 of their top offensive linemen, including Patrick Dalton. So congratulations to Whitewater on a tremendous, tremendous season. What a ball game it was tonight. Gainesville jumped out to a 7-0 lead very early on a Deshaun Watson keeper after the opening kickoff of the game was fumbled by Whitewater. Then Michael Bird went in from a yard out in the second quarter to make it 14-0. A 21-yard touchdown run by Kendall Conley put us at 14-6. 1-yard touchdown pass to Lackey made it 21-6 at the half, and just one score in the second half. It turned into a defensive slugfest. But in the end, one of the greatest players in the history of Georgia high school football, Deshaun Watson, wins the state semifinal and takes his team to the state championship. It'll be Gainesville versus either Ware County or Northside. They're still playing in overtime over at Ware County in the state championship game Friday night. We're going to take a very quick break, and when we come back, some totals and final thoughts here on the Play On High School Sports Network.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Back on the campus of Whitewater High School here in Fayetteville, Georgia, and one of the most exciting nights in all of Georgia high school athletics, and we were pleased to bring it to you here on the network. Semifinal Friday has high drama all across the state. Games that are in overtime right now, like Ware County and Northside. Games that are coming down to the very end, like Buford and Cartersville, like Calhoun and Lamar County, or perhaps Marist, who lost to Ridgeland on a last-second field goal opportunity. Tonight, it was all about Gainesville and the Red Elephants. One of the storied programs in the history of Georgia high school football, one of the winningest and oldest programs in national high school football, and now a team that won 3 state championships in the mid-20s, but never won a GHSA state championship. The GHSA, of course, coming about in the 40s and 50s. But now they're going back to the state championship game for the first time since 2009. What a night it was for Deshaun Watson, who had a hand in 3 of the 4 touchdowns for Gainesville, and they win by a final of 28-6. Thanks for joining us all season long. It has been an amazing, amazing honor to bring it to you. For our cameraman Todd Edwards tonight, Maggie Rayner flipping the switches, Mark Rothberg bossing people around, and Louis Rocca still playing on his iPhone. I'm Chris Mooneyham. Thanks for joining us here on the Play On High School Network, where the Gainesville Red Elephants are going to the state championship. Good night, everybody.